All right, it's podcast time. Taking Vegas podcast. I'm Chris Hodge. Good to be with everyone doing this podcast on Thursday. My goodness gracious, there are a lot of things to talk about. A lot of stupid things to talk about because I cannot believe the world that we live in. I cannot believe it. And I cannot believe people are falling for it. Are we stupid? Really, are we stupid people? Maybe. I don't know. But I've seen it all. Okay, a few weeks ago I came on here. I do this podcast. And the main goal of this podcast, yes, to have some fun with, sporting events, social stuff that's going on in the world of sports, but also to try to make money in the world of sports wagering, try to tie everything together. So a few weeks ago, I do this podcast and I say I cannot believe that I'm watching FanDuel and all these other sports books actually give out bets and people go bet them. Like, I can't believe that, but I don't need that. I'm beating a dead horse with that one. I already did that, right? So this past week, I think it was yesterday, what goes live? ESPN Bet. So when you log on to ESPN.com, ESPN Bet comes up. So now ESPN, which we all knew because of the Barstool thing, we all knew ESPN was going to be in the bookmaking business. Okay, fine, whatever. But here's the thing that I simply cannot believe. ESPN is in the bookmaking business, but they're going to have analysts on every single day telling you who to bet. And a lot of you will go to ESPN Bet and bet it. I have never in my life seen this. I have been in this industry since 2004. I have seen some dumb things. I have been around some dumb people. I have never seen anything like this where the sports books are actually telling you what to bet and people are going to bet them. Also, can we just be honest with what these sports books want? They want the $10 and $20 player. They want that guy to continue to deposit money in his account every single day, but small amounts, because you never realize how much money you actually lose, okay, when you're depositing small amounts. You're not hitting a 12-team parlay that is going to get you rich, okay? For every one guy that hits that and they post it, there are 1 million that lose that you don't hear anything about. Do you guys understand that? Okay, Vegas was built off penny slot machines. They make more money. Go look it up. They make more money off the penny slots than they do anything else. Because when you're sitting there like a fool just dropping pennies in, you don't realize how many pennies you're dropping in. You don't realize it. Hell, I'll bet a penny and pull that lever 7 million times. Okay? That's what it was built on. Go look it up. Las Vegas makes the most money off the penny slots. And the number's not even close. They do not want the guy that comes in with 400,000 or 500,000 that wants a room to himself. By the way, the room, like the high rollers room, is the size of 2 jail cells. Okay? You see how big the casino is? The high rollers room is tiny because they don't want that guy. They want the schleps that come in 50, 25, 100. That's what they want. They don't want the guy going to the sports book with 100,000 and betting on a game because, as I've said, that's a 50-50 proposition. If you walk up to the sports book with 100,000 and you put 100,000 on the game, you have just as good a shot at winning that game as the sports book does. Plain and simple. Math. Simple math. First grade math that none of you seem to know. They want the $10 guy betting 17 parlays, 18 parlays. $25 bet turns into $12,500. When that wins, they'll print it all over the place. They won't tell you about the 6 million that lose. They got a good scam going, man. Let me tell you. And you guys are falling for it. I've come on the radio show that I do, Sports Investors Daily. I've done it since 2006. I've been in this business since 2004. I've said the same thing over and over and over. I'm not a gambler. Baltimore's playing Cincinnati tonight. If I'm not on the game, I'm not watching the game. I could care less. Okay? We'll break it down from a studying perspective if we're going to use one of those two teams later in the year. Okay? But from a entertainment perspective, I could care less. If I'm not on the game, Boston College, Pittsburgh tonight, who cares? Who cares? Okay? We already got our games lined up for Saturday. I don't need to watch it and waste my time with this nonsense. I'm not a gambler. I'm an investor. When the right proposition comes up, you try to bet as much as you can based on your own financial health, your own finances. Okay, if you have $1,000, don't bet $10,000. But if you have $100,000, risking $10,000 is 10%. Okay, math, first grade math, simple stuff. So again, I always try to teach you guys how to do that. I have some free picks in a few minutes here. Let's get to some social events in sports. First of all, the Bills can't count. Now I'm watching teams lose games this year where they can't count. We watched Notre Dame lose to Ohio State because they can't count. And you have to be smart to go to Notre Dame. We watched the Buffalo Bills lose a game because they can't count. 12 guys on the field. Somehow 12 guys on the field gets the offensive coordinator fired, not the special teams coordinator, who can't count. I don't know. And there's always got to be a fall guy, right? That's the problem. There's always got to be a fall guy. It really is annoying. I mean, Ken Dorsey, I get their offense is down, but at the end of the day, they win the game if they can simply count. Simply count. So that's as bad a loss as you could have to the Denver Broncos when you're a 7-point favorite, when you're supposed to win the damn game outright, when you won the game outright, but because you had 12 guys on the field for a field goal attempt that got missed, they get a redo, they make the kick, and 6-4 turns into 5-5, and now you're in a dogfight just to make the playoffs. Just to make the playoffs. And we've said it on the radio show. We've said it since Buffalo, since they beat Miami, and they look good in the process of beating Miami. They have not covered a game since. They have not covered a game since. And they've looked terrible in the process. Terrible. So, offensive coordinator gets it. Ken Dorsey gone. And Buffalo's playing the Jets this week. They lose that game. There's no way you could lose to the Jets this week. And they're laying the same number they were laying to the Broncos last week. But if they lose to the Jets this week, a team that can't score a touchdown, a team that has a quarterback that no one wants, that can't figure anything out, okay? You lose that game. So, you think offensive coordinator get fired? You might see a head coach get fired. They lose that game. There's some interesting NFL games, some interesting college games this week. Obviously, we got some rivalry games this week. I'm going to give you a free pick between UCLA and USC in a few moments. That used to be one of the biggest rivalries there is, and both teams down this year. And so that's not as golden as it used to be. But, we're a week away from Michigan and Ohio State, which is going to be great. Got the Iron Bowl next week. So we got a lot of big games coming up next week to be excited about as the college football regular season winds down. And, the CFP conversation heats up. And I'm going to do something on the CFP next week, probably on Tuesday. I know Thanksgiving's really early this year. This is the earliest Thanksgiving can possibly be. So we have a long holiday season with Thanksgiving being on November 23rd. So I'm going to do something on the CFP. Let one more Saturday go by. We'll do something on the CFP next week. And go from there with college football. It's coming down to it. It's going to be a phenomenal end to the regular season. And, I'm sure the CFP will be highly anticipated when those announcements get made. Real quick, before the free picks, let's do some basketball again. I try to, hit everything I possibly can in, 12 or 13 minutes. Draymond Green. My goodness, God. I don't understand. I really don't understand. So, for as good as Draymond has been, this guy has been at the center of some of just the dumbest stuff. I don't understand. So I firmly believe, and the LeBron James people and the LeBron James fans out there will argue this point till they are blue in the face, which is fine. That's what makes, good arguments, whatever. If Draymond doesn't kick LeBron in the balls in that finals, Cleveland never wins that finals. They're up 3-1. Golden State, remember, again, a while ago, but Draymond got suspended for Game 5. They don't close out Cleveland in Game 5 at home. Momentum takes over. Cleveland wins Game 6, and then Game 7's, anyone could win Game 7. So I firmly believe he cost them a title just because he kicked LeBron in the nuts. Then he gets into a fight with Jordan Poole, all but ruins last season for the Warriors. And now he chokes. I don't get it. Why are you, I don't understand. Why are you going and choking the dude? Right? I don't get it. What is wrong with you? But you have that, and then look, one of the show's favorites here, James Harden. They haven't won a game, the Clippers, since James Harden went there. James Harden said he's the system. What system? What is the system? Sit at the top of the key, pound the ball into the paint, and then throw up a three? That's a system? And that's what you think you are? Forget James Harden. Clippers, man. I was a bad trade. And look at Philadelphia. I know they lost last night to Boston, but Philadelphia's playing well without James Harden. You know why? He's a cancer. That's why he's never won. And he never will win. Because he doesn't know how to win. He's played some of the worst Game 7s ever. And if you want a good laugh, go look at what the Dallas Mavericks guy said about him. The announcer for the Dallas Mavericks is YouTube. That's a great 2-minute piece. Great 2-minute piece. No, there's no one out there that could have said it any better than what that guy said. So that's that. All right, let's get to some free picks. 2-1 with the free picks last week. 1 on Friday, 1 on Saturday, lost on Sunday. Let's try to go 3-0. Tomorrow, Colorado playing Washington State. Colorado, we used them last week. We said, who the hell is Arizona to lay 10? Well, there you go. They don't cover. Probably could have lost the game outright. Colorado will play well. They're plus 4.5. It's going to be a tight game. So Friday night, go with Colorado plus the points over Washington State. Over to Saturday, rivalry game. I can't believe I'm doing this, but UCLA cannot score. So as bad as USC's defense is, don't worry about it because UCLA's got a worse offense. UCLA will put up points. Minus 6.5. Look for them to easily win that game. So we'll go with Colorado Friday, USC on Saturday. Over to the NFL on Sunday. Chargers, they have scored something like 95 points in their last 3 games. Green Bay is not going to be able to score with them. Chargers -3. Those are the 3 free picks for the weekend. Colorado Friday, USC Saturday, Chargers on Sunday. Be sure to give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW, which is 888-994-6669. We have free picks and our program for investing in sports. That's over at takingvegas.com and the Sports Investors Daily Radio Show, which will air every Saturday and Sunday. Hope you enjoy listening to the podcast. We're going to do one early next week for the Thanksgiving weekend or Thanksgiving holiday. Have a great day, everyone. Let's go 3-0 with the free picks. We'll see you back here next week on the Taking Vegas podcast.